If you haven't been following us, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, MandM4U. Mark and I, Monica, Mark, we are a couple that's been together over 25 years, and we advise couples on things that work for us. Yes. So our special guests today are Rutha and George.
Hello.
They're a couple that actually came to us with some of their issues, and they're going to give you some of that feedback of the things, the situations that they came to us for, and how we worked and helped them out. So without further ado, and then at the end of this video, they created this cute little commercial for us that we're going to show you all. So introducing George and Rutha.
So tell us a little bit about yourselves, how long you've been together, and how we helped y'all.
George and I have been together 3 years now. Yay. Yes. And we actually met going on Match. Monica was like, what about the guy with the gray patch? And I was like, he doesn't say too much. And she was like, give him a call, give him a chance. And I called, and we've been together ever since. So that's how we initially started out.
Okay.
And so we had like some turbulence going into the relationship. Like,
of course.
Yeah, we were like,
don't feel like you're alone.
This is a little bit more difficult, and I think it was a lot about communication. We were having a lot of issues with communication and understanding each other, and I think I had a lot of nervous energy and a lot of energy, period, and George is more, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what we'll do is we'll share a time that MandM4U like really saved us a couple of times, a lot of times. a lot of times that we had to go to MandM4U therapy. One time in particular, I was by myself. And when George came along, I was just kind of used to taking care of things on my own, doing things on my own. I was independent minded, and sprinklers were on that would not go off, and I was just like, hey, my sprinkler's on, like, I need you to take care of this, because if you don't, I can get somebody to do it. And George was like really upset with me about making that statement. And then my lawn had gone like bad, and the homeowners association was sending me letters about my lawn. And so I had a couple of lawn guys. I had a couple of you lawn guys that I was just like, hey, come by, give me an estimate. Come by, give me an estimate. Okay, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But George was sitting there like not appreciating the men that were coming to the house to try to get my lawn fixed. And I'll let him take over after this.
We can narrow the men down to man.
Okay.
There were not like a lot of men just coming by the house and stuff like that. I know one time Rutha had tapped into a family member or a previous family member that she knew about the lawn sprinklers and stuff like that. That was not any issue whatsoever. So fast forward. Maybe I should give him another name. I'm gonna call him Larry.
Larry.
So I call him Larry.
Larry.
Yeah, so all right, I'm gonna go fast forward and I'm gonna rewind because I want to go to a specific situation that happened. But what led to this is that the lawn had to be redone. Larry, know, he comes to the house one Saturday.
Larry is every bit of 70 plus. I just had to put that out there.
So Larry comes to the house, right? So he has on dress shoes, and he has on like a button-up shirt, right? So he got a little chain and a shirt like this, right? And he's like, I came to do the lawn. I'm like,
Wait a minute. He had dress shoes on.
dress shoes.
With his shirt open.
With his shirt
Coming
open.
to the house.
With a little chain and everything like that. Like,
Okay.
I came to do the lawn, and I'm like, what are you selling? I don't think it's lawn work. What's going on here? So, Rutha, we were in the garage, and she wanted to negotiate some prices with him. It was early in the morning, so the only thing she had on was a bathrobe.
I had on pajamas under the bathrobe, Johnny.
She's pretty heavy up here. So she had on the bathrobe. We have a rocking chair in the garage, so she's rocking back and forth. And Larry can't even keep eye contact because he's looking at, And it was some work on the sprinklers he had to do. The price started at $300. It was at $300. And Rutha sat there and she said, and she rocked like this, and she said, how much did you say you wanted to charge? Maybe we could probably get a better price. And he was looking here, right? He was like, well, I think 150. I do it for 150. I said, okay, now it's time. There's no way you're just gonna drop your price in half on the first time that it's negotiated.
Yeah.
Unless your business entails other things.
No.
So
In his mind.
in his mind, whatever. Even if it's just fantasy wise, whatever. So we had a big falling out about Leroy. I argued with Leroy.
Several times.
I'm
there.
Larry,
I even got the name.
Larry. All right. So yeah, I argue with Larry.
Which means you ran him away.
Well, it took a little while because he was kind of persistent. But anyway, I had to argue with Larry. I had to kind of go over some of the stuff that he did. He actually, while digging in and taking up the side, was the one that broke the sprinkler system.
Really?
In two different places, he cracked the pipe by digging it up. Because we tested the sprinkler system before having any work done to the lawn, and it worked. Right, so I had to dig it back up. I was trying to explain to Larry that, thank you, but no thank you. We appreciate what you've done. But kick rocks. But, it was...
But I mean, that was a pretty good price though, right? I mean, that he dropped it down to?
I mean, it was... Well, I would have dropped it down too, first of all, if I was, sitting there looking at boobs and...
Oh.
I was the one that broke it.
Okay.
That's like a win-win situation. Like, I broke it, I get $150, and I get to look at Tata. So
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like Larry had it all planned out,
I
didn't he?
mean, all right, if you go in and you're trying to make a deal or whatever like that, I understand you want to dress up, you want to look a certain kind of way, everything like that.
But you're not going to work that day.
Yeah, he really.
Unless you're trying to impress somebody.
Yeah, or throw somebody off.
Or throw somebody off.
Yeah.
There was a lot of shadiness. Give me this lump sum of money, and I'm gonna make everything else happen and make everything work.
Oh. And you tried to talk to Rutha about it and tell her what you saw, and you came to us because you said that every time you talked to her, she wasn't taking you seriously.
I just didn't follow. The concept of it to me was like, okay, this is kind of helping you out, so you don't have to do it.
Right.
You know, and I guess it just was.
When they brought it to us, I'm sorry.
I said it was different.
Yeah, when they brought it to us, the thing that we have to keep in mind is that Rutha has perspective and George has a perspective.
Yes.
So from Rutha's perspective, so she thought that she was helping George out. And then from George's perspective, she was disregarding him and his capabilities. So both of them are right, and Mark always says that like both are right, it's just both are thinking on a different level, and they have to start thinking about, okay, the other person may feel this way if I continue with this act. So we talked to them and they were able to work it out. George said that he was gonna start hiring a woman to do the house cleaning.
And that was just to put it in perspective, because a lot of times it really helps if you just kind of put the shoe on the other foot and say, you know, if it were this, if the roles were vice versa, how would you feel about it?
Yeah.
I want to add to that. When I made the suggestion of doing that, I was threatened.
Damn, I hate you, bitch!
But bodily harm would happen.
Stay what?
And it was like crystal clear at that point. Like, oh, wait a minute. I'm like,
don't
okay.
want to do that.
Yeah. It's like, well, you know, it's kind of the same thing, but I didn't like say I was going to do anything. I just tried to run Larry off.
Yeah, and you ran him away.
Yeah, it worked.
So it worked.
Yeah,
It worked.
turned out.
And it worked with Eminem, like putting it in that type of perspective. Like if I'm taking care of things, you know, women things around the house or whatever, you know, how dare you come and even say to me that you would bring in another woman to do a job or bring another woman into the house, period. Like
Right.
that's just like not like what I'm doing here. And so when they said that, it kind of like, okay, all right, you know. And then maybe I am not like really looking at it from a respecting my future husband. I didn't want to be disrespectful to him, nevertheless.
Yeah.
So we had to, I had to think about it and then kind of like step back and say, okay, really, I don't want to be dealing with the lawn nor the lawn man. So have at it, you know. So.
Right.
So that was one instance. Can you think of anything else, George? Please get off of Leroy. Larry. I always like, I'm trying to take care of George, so I'm like, I got to find ways to take care of him. And so I always like was doing things that I didn't feel like was wrong. Let me just say that. I didn't feel like what I was doing was wrong, but he felt that way. So like we'll be out eating and he's like, and then I look over there and it's like shit in the beard. So I'm like, got my napkin and I'm like, what is this? And he's like, hey. Like just say something that's in my beard, I can wipe my own mouth. Me, I was like, whatever, okay. Oh, excuse me. great.
And with your nursing background.
Yeah, I'm a nurse, so I'm like always trying to take care of people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think a couple of things happened, like in that manner, with me like trying to take care of him. So he kind of had like said something to me, but when he says things, it's just like, hey, I don't like this. And he moves on and we just go on. It's not like a big, to do. And when I was being funny with him one day, we were out shopping and we got to a section that had couches. And I walked up on George, like sitting up in the couch. And I was like, hey, stay here on this couch and don't move until I get back. Don't go wandering around the store until I get back. So I'm just like, and I just get in my car and I go off.
Good segue.
What is a segue?
So, we inside the store, so after she told me to stay put and don't go anywhere, there are a few people around, and I guess maybe they figured I was special and I needed some kind of supervision or watching or something like that, right? Pretty big or whatever, and someone being like, now you sit there and you make sure that you stay there. Don't you move till I get back. So there was a guy he was right here, I'm gonna cut down. Let me put this down. There was a guy, he was over here like shopping, looking through some stuff, he was like, So
he heard me say it, and I know who he was talking about because the man stopped and was looking at me. Tell George, don't get up. Don't get up from this section.
You stay right here now. Don't you go anywhere. I'll be right back. I'll get you something to eat later. You sit there.
Said she'll give you something to eat later.
So the guy comes in. So the guy's like, So I guess he's a good Samaritan, right? So as soon as she tries off, I do the same thing. I get up and I try it off and I go over to another side of the store. Now, this guy that heard her tell me that is secretly following me around the store and making sure I'm safe and don't, I don't know, eat a crayon or some shit. I don't know what he thought I was gonna do. But I'm walking through the store and I'm like, and he's like, pushing his cart, and he pushes his cart past. So then I'm like, all right, let me do a couple of things to make sure I'm not just bugging out. So I make some zigzags and go around. I'm like, I go into another aisle, and he's like, and he's looking down the aisle that I'm in. I'm like, all right, this guy's clearly following me. So I back around, I go through another aisle. He's in the other aisle, opposite of that aisle. There's some stuff on the shelf, there's like picture frames or whatever, so he's like, he's like, right, I guess.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's like, I guess the guy's okay, he didn't, I don't know.
Oh my God.
So by the time we left the store, when I found George in the store, he was like, I'm ready to go. And I was like, why? I got like all my stuff. I'm not ready to go. He's like, I'm ready to go. You talking to me like I'm retarded. People following me around. I want to get out the store now. And I was like, George, nobody saw you. He's like, yeah, that guy's following me. So we left. Because he was just like livid. And then we went to M&M that night and I was like, George is like really bugging, like showed out and was like acting, and he just showed out and was being extra in the store. And then he goes and starts telling M&M about, Rutha is wiping my mouth in restaurants, and she's like saying sit here and don't move until I get back. And
as a matter of fact, I'm not a child. I don't show out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That
it was a communication
rough
thing
one.
because
That was a rough one.
Yeah.
That was a rough
Yeah,
one.
it had a lot to do with communication and what we learned from M&M therapy is I'm trying to understand like intention too.
Yeah.
Because when you're on the opposite side of what's going on, it's hard to recognize what the intention is. Sometimes I feel like the intention could be something that's meant to be demeaning, something that's meant to be
Yes, it can.
derogatory, or something that's meant to be something other than it is.
Right.
But we've learned to understand each other and understand our differences.
Yeah, because by no means that I want to be that way.
So don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our page, and stay tuned because we're gonna show you the commercial that Rutha and George made for us. It's pretty,
Stay
it's
tuned.
cute.
You'll love it.
Remember,
It's
M&M
M4U.
for you.
Hello, everybody. We are an example of what you can get after you go to M&M therapy. Before M&M therapy, I really didn't think that we was gonna make it. We used to argue, we used to argue, fuss, and fight, and we used to quarrel all the time. We didn't really try to understand each other, and we would just go like this. It's just like that.
I mean,
Everything.
things got nasty.
And they got terrible.
Tell me, you took our rent money and spent it on rims? You motherfucker, you. I'm not taking this no more. You know it.
Being a Jaguar fan is the hardest thing there is, man.
George.
There's always something
George.
you gotta deal with.
George, the lawn man is out front waiting for you to show you how to program the sprinklers.
Then go out there and let them show you.
I made an appointment for the man to show you because the sprinklers are messing up. Go outside and go talk to that man.
It ain't a damn thing nobody can show me that I already know.
George,
Tell
you
him
were
to kick
out there
rocks.
waiting.
Tell him to kick rocks. Tell him to get the hell on.
I'm not telling them nothing.
I fix everything around here. I do it.
George, go out there and talk to the damn man.
Ah!
Yeah, because I told you better. And you still did it. You know what? Fuck you. Fuck you. Because you's a nasty motherfucker. You know that, G?
Where's the chicken? Where's the chicken? Where's the
I'm
chicken?
not cooking.
Why am I supposed to eat the damn pot? What the hell
Fuck
is
you.
going on here? Saturday morning, I need a sandwich.
I hate you, bitch.
And action.
But now, since we've been to M&M therapy, I can't keep my hands off my woman. What you got to say, babe?
Before M&M therapy, I never saw George for like who he really is. But now, I see the patch in his head, the brown in his eyes, and the butter in his skin. Thank you, M&M therapy.